All right, guys, here we're going to talk about iZombie Season 4, Episode 6. Now, this is an interesting episode.
I did not hate this.
I didn't hate it, but I do hate the direction the show is potentially going.
Ooh.
I don't think I like the idea of Liv becoming Renegade.
Okay, sure.
In general, and we talked about that last time, and I thought toward the beginning of this episode that it was like, oh, it's actually shut down because Renegade was so much more than Liv can possibly live up to. But
and they were like,
she is
no.
definitely trying to
They're
fill
like,
those
what?
shoes.
Her whole crew is like, God, no, stop, like, get out of here, it's over.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm gonna prove to you that it's not over.
Just something like, and to jump to the very end of her Renegade career in this episode, just the scratching of people and picking who's next.
She's Jesus.
I really think that it's taking the show in such a different direction than we're used to, and I don't think it's going to be a positive direction for the series.
And they say, thanks, good job out there, Renegade.
Yeah. God,
so like,
it's
so
cringe.
That part I did hate, but the other parts I did not hate.
No, like this week's person was her taking on an actor, and I was like, okay.
Can we just say though? And again, like the bar is not set very high, but I really, 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 really liked, and I think last episode something too made me go like, wait, I'm starting to like this more or something like that. I don't know if like the writing changed or whatever.
Okay.
But in this episode, they show the play lady. Then all they show you is her picture in like the case file of like the bus passengers, right? They don't draw this like gigantic line, or they don't make it out to be this thing or whatever. So like for a second I was like, wait, why is she acting like that or something like that? Because I didn't put together like.
No, that was pretty decent.
And like that, to me, that is the bare minimum that you should do, and they've always been under that, where it's this whole direct thing and all that different stuff. And I really liked the treatment and like the setup, and it like felt like a real thing.
I think though the only downside for me was because they've spoon-fed for 4 seasons now. That when they do a thing that I'm like a typical movie would, I was like, wait a minute though, how did she die? What happened? And then you're like, oh yeah,
okay,
the
good,
bus.
good. No, but that's amazing, right? So like I had the exact same thing, but didn't want to like admit it as like directly.
I think in a normal show or movie though, that would have been right on the top of your head, like, of course, this is a person from the thing. There's there's tens of bodies here from this crash.
It made me realize how, and like, because I'm like taking notes on my phone while I'm watching these things, so it's possible just by doing that, if I only watch it once. Like if something's really, really important, I'll watch it once and then watch it again and take notes. But I don't have the kind of time for iZombie, so I just watch it once and jot some notes down. So if I'm looking down and I don't see the folder with the pictures of like the bus accident, like. This show has always verbally out loud said the whole plot.
Multiple times.
Yes, to make sure that you're on board.
Yeah.
So I so appreciated that, and but it made me realize how little there are things on the screen that don't, even if like Blaine's, at the well talking to his dad, if something's happening, there's always talking, there's always verbalization. Major's
that's
like
the spoon-fed babiness part of the show.
Major's like alone and just talking to himself. Chase Graves is just talking to I forgot that, and
I guess I'll try the other door. Like that's what happens in this show.
And it made me like forget that you can do stuff with just by showing the audience things.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Okay. Anyway, I liked that.
No. In this episode in general, it was okay. We got to meet the crew more. Mama's crew, whatever.
Yeah, and it's the same people from the laundromat from the day she and Ravi went in there.
Yes.
Some people died. Blaine shot some people, but those were like other people. So we got to keep the same people that we got introduced to, right? And that's cool.
And that's always good when we have the familiarity of people. I liked.
I hate when it's like, okay, now we're in the day-to-day mode, and those actors weren't real actors. We had to fire them. Now we have real actors. Yeah. Okay.
Well, presumably there was a plan, and these people were hired on as a potential recurring character. I do like some of these characters. I thought they had some funny conversation. Like I said, the actor Brain for me was better than most of the Brains we've had this season.
Awesome.
And
I agree.
I don't think the bar was very high to get over, so I won't give it high praise.
Especially coming off a Hockey Brain, right?
Yes.
Like they didn't have to do much, but this felt really good. She felt good at it, and she was doing the stuff.
Yeah.
I dug it, and having it be like an acting thing or whatever.
Yeah.
And like while they're doing the heist, the chick's like, "What's my line?" And like while they're rehearsing, he's like, "Get on the floor, dirtbag!" She's like, "I'm not buying it. Come on, step it up," and all that stuff. I was like, "Okay," like something about like that felt okay to me.
Yeah, no, this one, yeah.
Yes.
above the low bar that we have set so far.
We have to emphasize that.
Because it's not this wonderful thing where
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man, this could be the brain forever. No. It's
Well,
just that things have
yeah.
been so bad that to show anything that has any potential whatsoever, I'm like, oh, awesome.
Well, and if you were to watch this episode, you would say, well, this is a normal to middling television show. This is fine. And I'd be like, no, you don't understand. We've come through so many things. This is so good compared to that.
And then you have Ravi on Drug Addict Brain.
Yes.
And offering to do sexual favors to Major in return for some drugs.
Only okay, though, because of how funny and charismatic he is.
Yes.
When he's leaving Blaine's and he's like, yes, we'll do this. Yes, okay, but I'll just have a little bit of heroin and just throws that in there.
Now,
I've been
saying
really
for,
good.
I think, like the majority of the show that he is the one of the better characters. He carries a lot of the scenes that he is in. I think that this one was pretty good for him, but he's been better.
Yes, he's been funnier.
I do
want
to see what he does after this show.
Like different shows?
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, because some actors, this could be the springboard for him. Because I didn't see him in anything before this.
Yeah,
I'm sure he was an actor before this. But this show, eventually he's going to go off the air. Can't run forever.
Fingers crossed.
I'm thinking it has 1-2 years left in it, tops.
Okay. Yeah.
Left. And if you would have asked me season 1, I would have said that too. So take that for what it is.
I've thought that for the whole time. So
yeah.
No, he's good, and I like this plot contrivance, right? Because I said the opposite about Major, where it was like, oh, Major gets to eat brains now and do weird stuff. And like the show was even like, now we have like brain smoothies, and you don't get a personality, so just stop doing that, right? But now Ravi is in a position where he will then, through this crazy plot fake thing, to sometimes be able to, without actually being a zombie, he can sometimes do weird personality stuff and have powers and do stuff. And I'm like, okay, it's pretty good.
Life ends happily ever after for him, or he's back with Peyton, presumably, and that's something that, like, I hate the will they won't they, so that's good just to have it resolved. It's like, okay, they will. It's back to a normal situation for them.
They find the dog. The kid is happy. They're like, thank you. Peyton's happy. It runs back. The music swells, and they're back together in like a little awkward rom-com thing that they actually, because they're both not bad actors, so they were actually able to do the thing. Okay.
The strongest actor, now that you mentioned a bad actor, of the episode, I want to say is the girl that Babineau was like almost going out with.
Oh.
I thought her face when she realizes that he had to disclose a relationship to HR.
Okay.
I was like, oh, that's like an actor's face. She really did it for me right there. I was like, cool. We probably will not see a lot of her.
I was gonna say,
or
I think they just like,
we'll get a thing where like where their relationship finally ends and like toward the end of the season maybe they blossom back together.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that we got Johnny Thunder or Lightning, whatever the hell his name is, Stormwatch.
Johnny Storm.
I like that he came back. He's always a treasure. And he got a nice not knowing he's on camera moment where he just is streaming consciousness.
So I don't know why we thought he was dead or something. I thought he was dead somehow.
Well, he's a zombie.
I know he's a zombie, and it all makes sense now, but there was a moment. So he was on an episode where he wasn't really there.
The issue for us was we really liked the character that he was, but that wasn't even who he was, and we knew he couldn't have a follow-up because he wasn't really in that episode.
Yes,
and
right?
that's he was like dead to us.
Okay, good. I was gonna say because like something was I'm missing part of this trajectory or something like that.
Yeah.
Him doing the sexual harassment thing, him showing his own video and then cutting back to him being like I need a volunteer and it's Liv and she's doing like the ooh pants tight nice just like an appropriate suit likes him and like mushing his face like I love your lips when you say no and all that stuff. He's like no I mean it like doing his thing like it was great. I loved all that. I was actually like very happy during this section.
Yeah, I would like to see him play that character in a different show, or like a movie about like that, like a Ron Burgundy-esque.
I was just gonna say like a newsroom setting.
Weatherman who's a little outlandish. I think he would be perfect.
Right, because you have some like straight people, some straight man people, and then versus him who's like I had a crazy weekend, Cabo, was a
lot of blow,
some weird some like stuff like that. Yeah, like a Murphy Brown style show. Yeah, with him as a character. Make it happen.
I like him. You'll never see him in anything.
They don't make those shows anymore. No, he's dead.
No, but on the whole, the episode was all right. We had some development that again I think is going to change the show for the worse.
What do you got?
Well, just this whole renegade outlook. On life is I can't imagine that ending well and
that's bad.
Poorly.
I assume they're just going to realize their mistake and kind of drop it. I can't imagine it because like, where does this end? Like, hit the fast forward button. It's like her and Major, and she's crying, and he's like, I have a job to do though, and what are we? Why is this here?
The best
exactly?
outcome is, for the show, is something happens. The SWAT team, I guess, comes in, kills her whole team, and she's like left to deal with it emotionally, as she was off, like, with her new date of the week or whatever. We do have the development with Blaine's character now that his dad is knowledgeably out of the well. He's
and that was cool too. He goes from the well
suppering
to see him. Yes, and they do the table layout like it's the Last Supper and stuff. Pretty cool. And it's like the creepy, you get a little comedy beats, stuff in there. But then it ramps up, and you get Blaine like, you son of a bitch, and he's doing this whole thing or whatever. And I'm like, it's Blaine. I like Blaine. He's a good character.
We've said, I think, every episode that we can't stand how the food choice always is dictated based on what the person was. And this one, more than ever, it's a cinnamon roll, and she's like, this is my best roll. And I'm like, did you have to put a pun in there too, you son of a bitch? I hate that stuff.
That was the part that even threw me, where I was like, wait, how does she know it's an actor brain? We don't even know if it's an actor brain. What's happening on this show? That was great.
That I just had to go back to that because it just clicked in my head.
Because
it made me think, why do they even make food? Because are they digesting the food? Because in 90% of these, it's like 99% edible food and then like sprinkled brain on top.
A little bit of brain.
This was literally like, hey, let me put some sprinkles on there. That's brain. Cool.
Literally, as if they were raisins.
Yeah.
Put like those things on.
That's exactly what they were.
I know.
Raisin brains.
I'm okay. Let's take a second out here. I'm glad to hear you say that because that drives me insane too. It has been years of watching this show since we were like, wait, do they poop? How do they do that? Are they healing? What's happening? How does he turn back into a human sometimes? Aren't his organs like not functioning because he can like get shot? Do they breathe? Why do they breathe? If the oxygen is there, and we're going through all these things, and it's not like it's our fault. The show is like, it's a virus. It's transmitted like this. It's like too small. It'll fit through condoms. It's like infections, and it's this very clear thing that they've tried to construct. Ravi has brains and like blue tubes with bubbles and stuff. Like this is supposed to be science, and then stuff's happening. Like, what is happening on this show?
No, and like you can kiss a zombie on the mouth, and that won't do anything. But having sex with them with a condom, that'll get you.
Yes.
Doesn't make any sense.
Fluids, my friend. No, I don't. I'm not a fan.
No.
So I don't know why they're eating all these things. Here they just put like a little red powder in to be like, oh, there's like hot stuff in there, I guess, or something like that. But she should literally. They did it early on, and they have to keep doing it. Is the problem? I think that's the entire thing.
Yeah.
Because Ravi, everyone else will just eat a brain. It's fine. They're not like, oh, like savages or whatever. It's not like eating raw meat to them or something.
No, it's very weird. It's very weird, and it's a problem. And I know all shows, it's because you have so many different writers and hands in the pot that like, oh, I started this thing and this thing's on that. Now it doesn't make any sense. But, oh, it's already in canon. Oh, I gotta go. Then ugh.
In season 1 or 2, personally, I was like tracking the culinary montages and how cool they were, and if there were little like sound beats and how it was cut together. I really enjoyed them. And now it's just gotten to the point where it's like, why are we still doing this? What's happening here?
Yeah.
So I want to talk a little more about the heist.
Sure.
I liked that stuff. You had the guy in the beret doing the stuff, the people, stealing the truck or whatever. A little bit of like social engineering, like this is a heist type of thing. When you get like caught, you just like play it off and say something, and then it's fine. Kind of like do this. So like, was that Jerry? I'm not sure. Like just like did that stuff, right? It wasn't just like, oh, I guess no one's here, or like nothing happens. And it wasn't just like, oh, this place is crawling with guards, but somehow we do it anyway, right? It was this nice little through line, believable, right, to me.
And she lucked out that this like, lonely dude is the one working the guard tower, who she also kisses. I might add that I just brought up kissing happens.
Yep, turns him into a zombie.
Yeah, I would love if she turned him into a zombie. Because there should be consequences for your actions.
She leaves a trail of destruction in her wake.
She should.
Yeah. No, but we get her doing the accent and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And like not wearing zombie makeup again to be. I thought she looked better here than she did a season or two ago when they pulled the same gag.
Yeah. Then she looked like weird and fake, and now she looked more like what she probably looks like out of character.
So what do you think? The first time they tried it, they did just put a lot of makeup on her to make it seem like she had makeup on over her makeup.
That's I think exactly what they did this time. And this time they just went no makeup. How about that?
How about when you don't have makeup on? That's you with makeup on. Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's I could see that. I like that. So what I would like to happen per your other comment, is for the zombie virus to like evolve in some way.
Okay.
To either change the stakes or ratchet stuff up or change the rules or something like that. But I don't know if and when they'll ever pull that sort of thing.
I would like more explanation about the zombie virus in general, because all the Fillmore Graves people got it from something else, like a terrorist attack or whatever it was.
They were at that retreat or something.
Yeah, so
right?
I would like there to be more zombies somewhere else, and things like there's obviously it's not a self-contained thing. It's happened in 2 different places from 2 different reasons. So it should happen somewhere else.
I don't think was just in Max Rager and Utopium were not only in Seattle, right? Or if they were,
that's strange.
There was like a tainted batch.
It was a tainted batch, but whatever got the Fillmore Graves guys, like something else can float around.
I forget the deets, but yeah, the show's so focused on Seattle, and it's so focused on Seattle like on purpose now. Like there's a wall, like there's no whatever anymore.
It would be an interesting show if the zombies tipped the scale and there were more zombies than humans, because then it's like, well, what do you do now? It's really a thing. The last holdouts would really matter. I think that would be a more interesting show.
They did mention that there were 10,000 zombies. I don't know if that's accurate canon, but in the fake play they say how many. We asked like a time or two ago, like, well, how many people? What's happening?
Well, I won't take that for gospel, because they're just changing the words to the Rent song.
Is it 10,000 in the Rent song?
It's like 10,000, 20,000 something, and they're talking about minutes, and they talked about zombies.
Never mind.
So
I don't know Rent
that
enough.
might be accurate. I would just say that to say I don't know.
It's stricken from the record.
Okay, stricken.
Such stricken.
But that would be even if it was 10,000. 10,000 is such a small number.
Yeah. They say 25,000 too, but that's probably just from Rent as well. I don't know if we ever get a nice breakdown, and that's fine. The show should kind of play loose with that stuff, because maybe if you knew the numbers,
even if it's all of Seattle, what is that? A couple million at max?
Yeah, I guess, but I feel like it's a small number of zombies.
No, but I'm just saying though, even if it's the entire population of Seattle, that number is so small it would not stop us from doing anything we had to do.
Okay, so when you say tip the scales, you mean internationally, not just Seattle.
Yeah, in order to be like to what I was saying, that the scale is tipping where it is over 50% zombie worldwide.
Oh my God, the show can't go there.
No, but that's an interesting concept for things. Once it starts, because especially in this show, in a normal show, zombies are not this lucid, normal person most of the time.
Right.
So that rational thinking world where you're like, all right, there's only so much resources. How can I? And have we ever tried to eat animal brains?
On this show or in real life?
On this show.
I don't think so.
I wonder what that does.
Maybe it's fine.
I wonder.
No, that's the usual arc when someone turns into something. You're like, maybe we can get something from the butcher shop and it'll be okay.
I don't think that has ever been explored. And when you have like a thing where you have to kill people to get their brains, you think of like cows maybe?
No, and they ran a meat shop or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. At a certain point in this show's life cycle, we have to have like, he's like growing brain matter in like a tube, and it's like fake or something, right? We have to move away from this somehow, and I don't see how they're going to actually do it.
Once you hit that 50%, though, the whole world scientists are pushing towards one thing.
Well, that reminds me of that movie with Ethan Hawke and Sam Neill.
Daybreakers.
I was gonna Daybreakers?
Is that not what it's called?
Oh, okay. I was gonna say Daybreaker, Daylight or something. I guess it could be called Daybreakers.
Most of the world was vampires.
Most of the world was vampires.
I thought it was called Daybreakers.
So like they're waiting, and it was actually the exact same thing. Where if you didn't get blood, you became like a bat monster or whatever.
Yeah.
And they were like online waiting for blood and like getting angry and like raging out and stuff like that.
Yep, they stole it all from that.
Underrated gem, yeah. Led to iZombie, though, so it's all worth it.
You have anything else in those notes on this episode?
Just plot-wise,
sure.
After the sit-in at Romero's and when Blaine meets his dad, he says, feed him the cheap stuff. Also, the only way he could have gotten out is because of Dino. Find them, deal with them.
Yeah.
So now we have an open thing where Donnie, right, and maybe Dino fled the city. Maybe there'll be another road trip.
Yeah, we'll see.
Who knows?
We know Dino is a zombie now, which will be a surprise, I think, to Donnie.
Okay. Yeah, I would love to get some closure on that to figure out what happened there or whatever.
Yeah, we'll see if that comes through next episode. Yeah, that's kind of everything that happens in this episode, guys. Let us know in the comments what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
Hello, internets. I just love watching JustDaggers. If you've enjoyed this video as much as I have, click that subscribe button. Peace out, homies.